The basket by Blake Griffin. And stolen by Reddick. And now the fast break. Griffin with the ball. Look at that jam. Wow. Just beautiful.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Here's Cousins, and he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And that's a huge play. I mean, they need more like it because second chance points are going to be key in this game.
Probably so. That's usually a crucial element to any comeback.
Yeah, and if you look at it, had they been converting those second chances all along instead of waiting until now, who knows?
Timeout is called. First of the game for Sacramento. And guys, Blake Griffin has got to be one of the more humble stars in the league. You rarely hear about off-court issues in interviews. He's engaging and comes off kind of as a regular guy.
That's the way it appears to me, Kevin. The young man has his head screwed on pretty tight and both feet on the ground. He started out as a class act, and he stayed one.
Here's Rivers. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Curry with it. Now Pierce defending. It's Curry with the drive. The shot, no good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
And talking about Blake Griffin, one of the more well-liked players in our league, but also one of the most teed-up players, top 5 in the league for the past 4 seasons. He's been ejected from several games as well. I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials. And, you know, getting back to Griffin, it's hard to stay grounded in this league. All the money, endorsements, ad campaigns, commercials, and so forth, that stuff can take you off track. But I think he's going to be grounded and maintain his focus going forward.
And the Clippers making a change here. Johnson's checked in. Bellinelli dishes to Koufos. In the corner, Collison with it. Off target from outside.
And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
Very good. He's a thinking man's defender. Knows how to bother even the best shooters without being overly aggressive.
Count that one. Clippers leading by 5. Here's Rivers. And the Clippers miss again. Outside Collison. And Bellinelli kicks to Koufos. Can't hit.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah,
and a word from Chris Paul, who has a little something to say about the success of a very special.
You know, Blake.
Of course, we know that Blake would say the exact same thing about Chris Paul. You know, Chris and Blake Griffin share so much in common when it comes to being the hardcore Clippers their owner brags about all the time.
And you think about it, Chris Paul is not easily impressed, nor is Doc Rivers for that matter, but both of these guys have praised Griffin for how hard he's worked and how far he's come in his career.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Clippers. Guys,
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another, as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
On the court for the Kings as the second quarter gets underway. They've got Collison. Rudy Gay is out there with Cauley Stein. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins, and it's Bellinelli in at the 2 guard.
And former coach of the year, George Karl, making his way back into the league last season. Kings picked him up halfway through the year to kind of stabilize their coaching situation.
Clippers leading by 7. Kicks to Reddick. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And, you know, J.J. Redick has shown steady improvement in his game. He entered the league as a spot shooter off the bench. Last season, averaged over 30 minutes a game for the Clippers. He's come a long way.
For the Clippers, Griffin's checked in for Jordan. And Bahamute comes in for Jeff Green. And Paul's subbed in for Rivers. McLemore's checked in for Sacramento. Rondo comes in for Darren Collison. And Redick has improved every phase of his game over every year, especially in the area of efficiency. Shooting over 47% from the field last year. And Greg, that by far the highest in his career.
Yeah, and his mid-range jumper last year, just automatic. The turnovers per minute averaged also ridiculously low. It even improved as a defender.
The Kings trail by 9. Here's McLemore. Johnson with the block. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. That's good.
And defensively, they're on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Timeout called by the Kings. Usually you talk about how tough a player is, and you're always talking about big guys. But Chris Paul is as tough as they come playing that little point guard position.
Yeah, he's a power pack when you look at him. I mean, he's played through a lot of injuries and still has a big-time impact on the game. Most recently in the playoffs, he played through injury to beat the Spurs.
That one's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down now to just 9 in the basket from Gay. Paul, no one around him. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Kings have gone 2 of 6 in the field in the second quarter so far.
And last year, you could see Paul was hobbled in their loss to the Rockets in the second round. Still, most players wouldn't even have made it back out on the floor, much less been as effective as he was during the postseason.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter. Yeah, you know, that's the thing about Paul. He doesn't need to be blazing fast or quick to beat you. He can play seemingly on one leg and still dismantle a defense.
And no question, G.A., Rudy Gay is one of those guys who has always put up great numbers, but in 9 seasons he's been in the league, only one playoff. Only one. Count them, one. Back in 2012.
Yeah, but what if he were still in Memphis? I mean, that's
true.
You got to play on a good enough team, and he hasn't up to this point. So, yeah, he's had his moments of inconsistency and will disappear at times. So there's some shared blame there as to why he hasn't been more consistent when that went out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
Otherwise, he's got it all, except that consistent winning touch. That remains to be completed.
And it's Johnson penetrating. Griffin passes to Paul. But they get it back. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
And, guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, you know, his reputation. Clark grinding away, 100% effort all the time.
And, you know, Kevin, all that effort pays off. How many of those spectacular putback jams do we see from this guy? A bunch.
And thinking more about Rudy Gay, one key number I look at from last season, his assists. By far the most in his career, and that didn't translate into a ton of wins, but it very well could have been the next step toward getting those wins.
Cauley-Stein kicks to Gay. And there's the pass to Ace. Johnson with the block. Here's Redick. 11 points in the game. That's good. And now a 9-point Clipper lead.
And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
And Willie Cauley-Stein gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's a second personal foul. If he gets another, it probably puts him on the bench for the rest of the first half.
Paul Pierce is checked in for the Clippers. Crawford comes in for J.J. Redick. That's a 2 from Paul, and it comes off the front of the rim.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
And he gets it to go.
I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
It's Crawford with the drive. Kutas with the block. They retain possession. Here is Mbamute, and the layup falls.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear. It's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
Here's Collison. And Pierce pulls it down.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
Curry against Crawford. Another miss by Curry.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face.
23 seconds left now here in the second. Paul with the steal. And now the Clippers on the break. Throws down the breakaway jam.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Great point. I mean, that aggression has allowed them to just create a lot of havoc, and boy, are they taking advantage.
He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And that does it for the first half of play. Clippers ahead as they wrap up the...
Yes, Kevin, I'm here with Blake Griffin, and obviously a high-scoring half for you guys in this one, Blake. What was the key to breaking it open?
It starts on defense, our defense.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. A pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. The second quarter got a lot more exciting for them as they were putting up big numbers and find themselves way out in front here at the half. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there?
What a brilliant, unselfish half of basketball they just played. Their ball movement was absolutely impeccable. All in all, just beautiful basketball to watch.
Shaq, how do you think Sacramento played?
They were not running an efficient offense. The shot selection has to improve. It's as simple as that. Too many guys working as individuals, not as a team. They need to work as a unit, Ernie. Move the ball.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We're going to...
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first two quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback.
When you're hot, you're hot, and that's certainly been the case for Redick. He's got 11 points and some good assists, too, 4 of them.
And if I had to pick what he's done best today, I'd probably lean towards the offensive performance.
Well, just to be a contrarian, I'm going to go to the other side because he's been just as impressive, I think, at the defensive end.
Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan, and it's Mbah a Moute in at the 3 slot. That's who's out there for the Clippers. The Kings were off to a hot start last year, but things certainly fell apart midway. A big factor in that was the messy firing of their coach, Mike Malone.
Yeah, really, that firing came out of nowhere to the fans and the players, and it seemed odd to fire a coach that has been leading his team to good basketball.
Griffin goes in, rejected by Cousins.
Boy, a sluggish, muddy start to the second half. Still scoreless.
And so here are the Clippers. And it's good. Paul's got 5 minutes.
And, you know, we'll never really know the full details of why Malone was fired, but the effect it had on the team was easy to see. Kings really tailspinned out of control afterwards.
You know, the Kings, I think, will look back and realize they made a dubious decision the way they handled that coaching change. I mean, lucky for them, they were able to right things, so to speak, by landing George Karl later on. Clearly one of the better coaches in NBA history.
Here's Jordan. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
Last season, the Clippers came away with the 3rd seed out west. They were very tough in conference and managed to get 37 of their 56 wins against Western Conference teams.
As you said, for the Clippers, 37 wins last year against the rest of the West. That total was the second most against the rest of the West among any team in the league. Trailed only Golden State in that regard.
And you know what? They played the top West teams tough as well. One of only 3 Western Conference teams to be over 500 against the rest of the playoff teams from the West. No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Here's Rondo. And Cousins kicks to Rondo. Fires for 3. The shot misses. Paul with the defensive effort. Clippers leading by 14. And the wide open shot from Green. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Green's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
You know, one of the things I think we forget about with Chris Paul is just how clutch he is as a player. I mean, hitting the go-ahead shot in Game 7 against the Spurs last postseason was a big reminder to everyone that this guy is clutch.
Timeout called by the Kings. And talking about Paul and his ability to come up in the clutch, that Game 7 shot when he was playing injured against San Antonio, the defending champions, turned out to be the game-winning points. Remarkable play, remarkable series for him.
It was. You know, you could see him hobbling around out there and would have to miss games in that Rockets series, the first 2, if I recall. But that series is what Paul is really all about, Kevin. He is a competitor, first and foremost.
Here's Redick. And again, the Clippers good for 2.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
One-on-one here. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And it's Green missing.
You know, the alley-oop is a great play when it works, but boy, when it doesn't.
Yeah, it can make you look silly. It embarrasses you. And we had a little silliness right there for sure.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Cauley-Stein dishes to Gay. It's stolen. And now the Clippers on the break. Here's Redick. Rajon Rondo with the rebound.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
McLemore, no good.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Redick inside the line. Los Angeles with another miss.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
And the basket good.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
Assistant, Rudy Gay. Los Angeles timeout called.
And the Clippers call time here.
You know, guys, in a draft that had a lot of top-tier big men as the top picks, Willie Cauley-Stein is a little bit the forgotten man, if you will. But he can be a very impactful player now and down the road as well.
Pierce is checked in for the Clippers. Crawford comes in for J.J. Redick. A big group substitution here for Sacramento. Caspi, he's checked in for Cauley-Stein. Bellinelli comes in for Rudy Gay. Curry's checked in for McLemore. And it's Collison in for Rajon Rondo. Greg, with Cauley-Stein, his defense is the first thing that you notice. Very adept at shot blocking already. Does a lot of things Clark very well.
But, Kevin, I think it's his agility and the way he moves his feet defensively as a 7-footer. He literally can defend all 5 positions.
That's a great point. His perimeter defense, I mean, against smaller players, something to behold.
Outstanding.
Sacramento making a switch here. Kufis is checked in, and it's good.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
Curry wide open. And it's off from three-point range. Los Angeles leading by 17. Crawford, no one around him. They grab their own miss. Jordan, that's tipped. Collison with it. Picked up by Rivers. Here's Curry with the 3. Here's Kufis. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
Los Angeles making a switch here. And Baamute's checked in. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Clippers.
They really haven't backed away from running and gunning at any point, but their legs still look fresh.
Something else they've done is force a lot of mistakes defensively, and they've been turning those turnovers into points.
The shot by Curry, no good.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it. Big time finish, emphatic.
He hangs on the rim, too, just for good measure.
Yeah, but guys, nothing wrong with a little bit of showboating every now and then.
Crawford's shot is good.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
But they recover it.
Man, he's just pulled a Harry Houdini in this quarter. He's completely... And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. The shot and game clock separated by 4. Here's Collison, a beautiful reverse layup.
You know, he didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest, but he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
The Clippers have shot 3 of 6 at the foul line.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
You know, they've really put themselves behind the 8 ball in so many of their games because they just have not been able to knock down those foul shots.
Pierce with the steal. And here we go. Crawford all alone. Finish off the break. Crawford's got 12 points in just the second half.
Boy, just a lovely dish by Griffin.
Kufis the pass to Curry. Collison for 3. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Los Angeles on top, running away with it. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. On the court for Sacramento, Rudy Gay is out there with Quincy Ace. Then it's Curry. Then it's Rajon Rondo. And it's Cousins in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Ball against Rondo. And Cousins kicks to AC. Dishes to Gay. Curry against Redick. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
And McLemore, he's checked in for Curry. Clippers leading by 22. Paul goes in. Cannot hit. Great D that time from Rondo. The Kings shooting just 33%, struggling to get good looks. Pass to AC. McLemore inside the line. Sacramento again missing.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
Not at all. I mean, he shouldn't even have considered taking that shot. Just a poor choice there.
We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter, and that one's good.
In that type, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
Hall, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
Yeah, too many easy buckets coming from inside, and I think he wants to make that a point of emphasis.
I would certainly think so. I mean, if they keep giving up those kinds of easy looks inside, they'll be in big trouble.
Some changes for Sacramento. Cauley Stein comes in for DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Bellinelli in for Rudy Gay.
Marco Bellinelli.
Rondo dishes to McLemore for the 3. Again, the miss by the Kings. Clippers have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. The offensive rebound. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
Those kinds of mistakes drive me crazy and will absolutely derail a team's chance to win.
And Wesley Johnson with the slam.
It's a real alley-oop that time, partner.
The pass, Clark, the catch, the dunk, all of it perfect.
Precision at its finest.
And guys, it had to be, because not nearly as easy a play as they made it look.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They got to get more intense.
Redick with the three. Bellinelli pulls it in. Sacramento's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Rondo with the ball. He's picked up by Paul. And another three for Sacramento.
For 3. Los Angeles timeout call.
And the Clippers call time here.
And I think it's fair to say last season was a bit of a transition year for the Kings. I mean, after firing Malone and the injuries to their stars, they just tried to build for the future, realizing that was going to be in their best interest.
Jordan, he's checked in for the Clippers. Cauley-Stein passes to McLemore. Baamute with the steal. It's picked off. And J.J. Redick picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Sacramento.
DeMarcus Cousins.
From the inbound, and that one is stuffed right through.
Make it 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that's right. You got it. And he was ultra safe with that dunk.
No reason not to be.
And guys, as he should be, remove all doubt on that attack.
Good ball movement here by the Kings. Here's McLemore. Gets that one to fall. That's his 6th field goal. He has shot the ball 12 times.
The defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
Paul, right side, puts it up from 12. Paul can't get that one to fall.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times. Yeah, but you have to love that tough interior defense.
And, Greg, that's exactly what he gives you. I mean, he's constantly making his presence felt around the rim.
That one is off.
You know, when you look at DeMarcus Cousins, he's clearly one of the more talented and also one of the most emotional players in the game. He's also one of the most teed up.
Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for J.J. Redick. And then for Sacramento, Gay comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And it's Collison in for Rajon Rondo.
You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
The Kings trail by 20. Collison kicks to McLemore. Baamute with the steal. Crawford outside. He dishes it to Jordan. No good. Great D that time from Collison. Yeah, talking about Cousins' top 5 in technical fouls in each of his first 5 seasons. Among other things, that's given away a ton of free points, guys, to the opposition.
Yeah, DeMarcus is working hard to control that temper, and he knows it's important for the team. But it's hard to plug a volcano.
McLemore dishes to Cousins. To the middle. Here's AC. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Clippers.
Not only did they shoot the ball better, but they had more assists.
Well, the ball movement was good. The player movement was excellent, and you only get assists when guys make shots.
And while it's a team game, you can't win without guys showing up. And that was the case tonight for Redick. He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
Feeds it to Collison. Screen by Cousins. And there's Darren Collison on the assist from McLemore.
And they're clearly finishing strong here, but not enough time to pull it out.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to end on a high note. Too bad this run didn't develop sooner for him.
And then Gay with the dunk.
Crisp pass into the paint.
Clark, they've shared the load offensively.
Yeah, they've done a nice job with it, Kevin. Everybody's touching the ball. There's a nice flow to what they're doing offensively.
And, guys, they've put the defense on their heels. You can see right now they're trying to react, and that's what you want when you're in a rhythm offensively.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Crawford. Great D that time from Collison. Here's Sacramento now. They're on an 18-4 run right now.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Crawford outside. Crawford with another miss. Outside Collison. Oh, he got hacked on the three-pointer. He'll head to the line.
Yeah, you hate to give up a foul on a three-point attempt.
Yeah, unnecessary. I mean, make them earn those points from deep. Don't give them to them free at the line.
And he's good on the second. And so he's good on all 3 free throws, and that brings them to within 10. Crawford off target. So the Clippers winning this one easily. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, and I thought good execution really played a big part throughout.
And time now to...
Chris, we got to see Lob City in full effect here tonight. Seems like everyone on this team is really on the same page right now.
It's exciting, man. It's exciting. You know, it's something good for the fans to be excited about. But
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Blake Griffin, who notched his season high, and his scoring really seemed to set the tempo for his team tonight.
I don't know if there's a fan base that loves their star more than this crowd. Wow. You get jealous, and he feeds off that support. Once they got behind him, he became unstoppable, man.
Is there anyone in the NBA?
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.
Get the sound.